Thank you for joining us today for today's edition of Devotions with Brother Aaron. I've entitled today's devotion, Guided Missiles and Misguided Men. Now, I need for you to note that I wrote today's devotion back in 2016. However, its truths are just as relevant today, and we still need to hear them. Guided missiles and misguided men. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men." Wow. Let that sink in. Let me reread that. He said, "Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men." Amen. Today, right now, we are living in the most technologically advanced time ever known to man. I can use my cell phone to record a video, and in just a minute or two, it is visible almost anywhere on planet Earth. Satellites orbiting in space can see a dime laying on the ground and tell you which side is up. Hey, it's mind-boggling. Yet, as Dr. King said, our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. The misguidedness of our society is all around us. I don't know how many of you remember seeing the signs that used to be on the Interstates that displayed the number of traffic-related fatalities in Georgia for a particular year. As I wrote this devotion, I think it was up to around 580 deaths, which is horrific. I'm not minimizing the loss of life. The verbiage on the sign says something to the effect of, "Drive safely, arrive alive." Now, is there anything wrong with this? Absolutely not. Then why do I mention it? To point out our misguided values. When I wrote this devotion in 2016, there had been upwards to 58 million babies killed in their mother's womb. Far greater number today. But somehow, 580 highway deaths warranted our attention, while 58 million infant deaths do not. Think on it. Another illustration of our misguided values is this insane, idiotic gender debate we're having in America today. Unbelievable. And yet another is the gun control debate. Bad guys have guns and do bad things with them. So let's blame the guns and pass laws that restrict the good guys' ability to possess a gun. I'm sure all the bad guys who are already breaking the law will adhere to any new laws that are passed restricting their rights to own a gun, and we'll all be safer. Nah, not in this lifetime. Dr. King once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Oh, hear that again. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. That's why I'm so vocal about so many issues. Now is the time for God-fearing people to stand and make their voices heard. The outcry should begin with our pulpits. At the basis level, that outcry should be preachers once again preaching to see sinners saved and lives changed. We don't need more laws to govern morality. We need people to give their hearts and lives to Jesus and have their lives changed by Him. I hate to admit it, but this past Sunday I preached both the morning and evening services in an evangelistic crusade. The pastor requested that I preach messages on salvation. What's amazing about that? The fact that we live in a day and age when every pulpit should be ablaze with the message of salvation, but the pastor must request it. Oh, God help us. In the end, we will not remember so much the words of our enemies, but rather the silence of our friends. There is an eerie silence in our pulpits and churches today regarding the things that really matter. And remember what Dr. King said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Churches begin to die. Societies begin to die the moment that we become silent about things that matter. And we will remember the silence of our pulpits and pastors and spiritual leaders. Again, our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. Wow. Lord, would you help us, your people, to return to a place in our walk with you where our spiritual power, not our scientific power, fuels and guides us in every aspect of our walk with you. I readily admit today that we are a misguided people. We need you today, sir, in all our endeavors more than ever. I beg for your forgiveness, restoration, presence, and guidance in our walk with you today. Help us to no longer be a misguided people. And I ask this in your name. Amen.